Now, our next guests have taken a family tradition to the extreme. Last week, Rena Graham gave birth to her son Paddy in a car 45 years after her mother Mary did the same with her daughter Deirdre.
We have Rena, Mary, Deirdre and baby Paddy with us, guys. You're very welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Rena, it was all going well. Due date was the 4th of April.
That's right.
8:30, contractions 20 minutes apart. All going well. What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Well, I was leaving, and my mother and my sister were there, so they weren't rushing me out the door or anything like that. But we were about 15 minutes into the journey to the hospital, and I knew that things were really kicking off at that stage. Yeah.
So Paddy is your fourth child. So you knew what kind of happened along the way.
Yeah,
You knew yourself. You knew how you go. How far was it? Portiuncula you were heading for?
That's right.
The hospital, which is in East Galway.
That's
so
right.
there you were. And when did you know that Paddy was definitely coming?
We were, as I said, 15 minutes into the journey, which was just after Burr, and I said, oh my God, the contractions were coming really hard and heavy. Then we went through Banagher, and we were just gone over the bridge in Banagher into Galway, when I knew I was starting to push at that stage, and my husband Alan said, Rena, are you starting to push? And I said, no, but I was. And then I said, I am, you're going to have to pull in. So he just pulled in at the safest place he could. And he actually, there was a house right beside us, and he got out and rang the doorbell, and when he came back to the car, nobody answered the door, thankfully, actually, for me. Nobody answered the door, and I just said, Alan, you'll have to let back the seat as quick as possible, and he was coming that quick. So.
Oh God. And what did he do? What did Alan do?
He just said, tell me what to do, and I said, just make sure and catch the baby, and and then he said, I remember saying, just make sure there's the cord isn't around his neck.
Yeah.
And
you were very calm.
Well, I don't know if I was calm, but you just, your instincts, they do kick in, and you just have to get on with it. What can you do? So,
and there you were. And how quickly did he come?
Oh, he came just a few pushes, and he was out, and out he came.
And what about the cord and all that? What did you do?
Yeah, the cord was around his neck, so Alan just lifted that off, and then
you couldn't cut it because you had nothing to cut it, or
no, we didn't have anything, and then I just looked at him, and I saw there was a veil over his face, so I just took that off, and we just hit him on the back, and he took a big breath of fresh air.
You sound like like Bear Grylls, female Bear Grylls.
I'm anxious listening to this, and I'm sitting here, and it's 2 weeks later. But it's a family tradition, Mary. You did the same thing. So don't be throwing eyes at her saying she did something wrong when you did it 45 years ago.
It's fresher in her mind now than in mine.
So what happened with you then?
But much the same now as Rena. I took off from, we were just living outside Rossgrey at the time, and we took off, and like that we got along the road onto Nina. We're coming near Nina now. I knew I was getting, worse, and my husband Neil said to me, will we pull into Nina Hospital? There was a maternity in Nina Hospital at the time, but I said, oh, sure, they'll only send me on to Limerick,
Yeah.
So the car, so we went on anyway, and I wasn't too far outside Nina when I said to Neil, oh, Neil, I know it's going to come. And we pulled in, there was a tiny little filling station, and we pulled in to ask if there was a doctor near. That's why I was worrying.
And there was no mobile phones 45 years ago.
No mobile phones.
No selfies.
No anything. And we pulled in, and the man said, the nearest doctor now is Killaloo. So we headed on to Killaloo, which would have been better to go on to Limerick. But at the time we didn't know, and we headed on to Limerick, or on to Killaloo. And over the bridge, there was these two old men talking, so we asked them where the doctor was. They went a great rounds telling us where the doctor lived and where to go, but said you needn't go there today because he's not there.
No, I don't believe this.
So off we had to head, and there was a couple of women passing, and they kind of guessed what was going on, and they said go down to this nurse down at the end of the hill, and we did, and she said no, you're better now, go on, leave the cord and go on in. So I was kind of happy then once I knew.
Now you said it was coming, and it is beside you.
Whatever happened to that child, Mary? Deirdre, you were always known then as the car baby, was it?
The car baby.
That is all your life you've been the car baby. Thank God there's another car baby
exactly.
to take over.
We got that.
You've received counselling, obviously, for all of this, for all of the stuff they put you through.
I hated it.
Did you?
Yeah, as a kid, I hated it.
Your brother used to mock you, did he?
I had 3 brothers.
3 brothers.
And what used they say? I look at you like a doll.
It's like you were in the car there as well. But,
No, my parents used to bless themselves at that spot forevermore, every time they blessed themselves. And when they blessed themselves, I got the slagging.
Oh, I think that's the
The
cutest
ditch
thing
and the
ever.
whole thing.
just to remind you.
Yeah.
That is, it's a wonderful story. And look at Pod, isn't he the most divine little angel? And he's quiet.
Rihanna, who
he's very
frightened the child
good.
earlier on now?
I did.
Who frightened the child? Maura and Dublin, the child
No,
jumped up.
not at all.
And is he quiet?
He is good, yeah. Just eats and sleeps. That's all he wants.
that
Typical
wonderful?
man, yeah.
Oh, that's all you need to do.
And,
That's all you need to do.
What does Alan do?
He's a painter decorator.
But
yes.
that's not the only job he has these days,
No,
because this is the
no,
side of his
he's-
van.
He's got promotion.
He's a promotion.
Very,
We
very
have
good.
a few tricksters that live.
I love tricksters. They're the only way to go.
Well, he's a bit of a one himself, so they got his
Trickster,
own bag.
no
yeah.
tricksters. Well, all good, and everything was fine when you arrived at the
thank
hospital.
God,
Paddy was
yeah.
grand, and was he
Yeah.
kept in or anything?
No, not kept in. As soon as I arrived and the cord was cut, the midwives just whipped him off me, and I knew he was in good hands. So, and then they looked after me, and they're fantastic there. So I can't
The
thank
rest
them
of the
enough.
Well, listen, thank you guys so much, all of you, for coming in. They're fantastic stories. I think it's great. Lifted us today, I can tell you.
Well, thank God.
Save Johnny going home in the car now and don't do anything weird. Don't do anything weird. Thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Haven't I finished with them yet, Maura?
No, we're not finished yet because we have a treat in store for them today. We have to thank everybody at the Kingsley Hotel in Cork here, a beautiful hotel. We have a spa package, a lovely treat for you guys to enjoy. And we have to carry out the tradition, of course, for Paddy in the car.
Yes.
Where's our little treat
We
for
have a
Paddy?
little- This is a treat for Paddy. Look, there we have it.
That's for Paddy. Now, he's not going to be able to go in it yet, but in a little bit, in about a year or so, he'll be in the little car. You can push him around.
Oh, thanks
so
very
very
much.
grateful
Thank
for all of
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
And thanks to the Kingsley as well.
God help if the baby arrives in that car. It's very small.
You're not a miniature person.